going to bed really soon, but I just wanted to kind of go over what I've been up to lately. So, I've been really back and forth about the renting or buying aspect, and I think I am really focusing on buying now because the idea of not having limitations like pets or asking for more pet deposit or charging more monthly for a pet and all of that just feels like so much annoyance that I don't want to deal with. So I filled out a loan application today and I saw a few houses I have interest in. So hopefully I'll be able to look at them this weekend, assuming that all my stuff goes through properly. Sorry, pets are distracting me. But yeah, I finished Gross Point Blank today. It wasn't really my type of movie. I did not feel very drawn to John Cusack's character or Mini Drivers, so it was kind of, it just went past, and I didn't really pay much attention. After that, I watched 2 episodes of the documentary on HBO, The Defiant Ones, about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. I hope I said that right. I enjoyed the movie Straight Outta Compton very much, and lately I've been listening to a lot of hip hop and rap, so I felt kind of appropriate and something that I might have interest in. But I think documentary styles tend to bore me pretty quickly. Even though the information is interesting and seeing how everything came to fruition, I still find my focus wandering. So I'm not sure if I'll finish it. Most likely I will. There's 2 more episodes left because it's just not like an ongoing series or anything. But it's late-ish now and I kind of want to get my sleep. I don't really like sleeping too late anymore, and I have been getting tired pretty early, but just 2 more days of work and then it is the weekend for me. Someone doesn't like me invading their privacy. He's like, Mom, stop peeking.
How are they gonna fight back from super creeps?
Should I go on the roof then?
You want me to do it? Here, I'm gonna blink in and then I'm gonna Yules. We'll see how fast this
You gotta
trigger finger.
wait like 2 seconds
Okay. Alright.
or like 1 second.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Ah! Help!
Holy
Help!
shit, they're not in there. Did he kill him?
Help! When is it over? When is it over? Oh, thank God.
He's dead.
Jesus Christ. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
No, no, no. Doesn't seem
Oh.
like it's happening.
Oh my God!
Holy
What the
shit.
fuck? I'm fucking dead.
No, you're not. You're not dead.
Wow, where's that sunstrike? Oh shit.
Shit. No, he already used Sunstrike.
So I guess not much has really been going on since I have sort of been in the process of trying to get a loan application filled out. Um, I feel like I've really committed to not spending any money whatsoever. So that just pretty much means that I am stuck indoors. It's not that much different from my normal lifestyle, but there are challenges like wanting to occasionally buy food or go out to bubble tea. I think I will at least be going hiking on Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't gone in a while and I just really want to go out and be in nature. I feel like this loan application has really been stressing me out because it's just a lot to go through, and I guess there is a few complications based on the situation I'm in right now. And at times it can be very kind of annoying to get some documents or information from my parents. I feel like I have always struggled with them not really being supportive. Uh, I'm a little surprised after all this time that they still think that they can dissuade me from doing something. Um, Buying does sound risky, but since I would be paying a price that is similar to what I would be paying for rent, then I don't really see why I shouldn't be buying, because when it comes to renting, there's so many complicating factors that come with pet ownership. So they would either be asking for more on the deposit, like some people even ask for $250 per pet, which is insane, or additional per month for each pet, just stuff like that, or having a pet and having to pay double the security deposit. Those are all things that I just really don't feel like doing, I think. So even though this process of possibly buying a house might take more time, it's probably more worth it in the long term. And even though it's stressful and tough for me now, I think it's the right choice to make. So yeah, this week I've mostly been a bit stressed out about that. Parents definitely adding to it because they just repeat a lot of the same stuff that they have been telling me for many years, and I'm just always really surprised why they don't accept me as the type of person who is very determined. I feel like they should know that that's my personality. Ever since being a teenager, I've never really wanted their approval for things. The thing is, though, I think maybe based on the way I was raised, I like or would appreciate having their approval. So I like to talk to them about choices I plan on making or ideas that I have, but it always ends up being kind of like not really a good conversation to have with them, because they rarely support it, even though they always have their doubts. So stuff like when I wanted to buy a motorcycle, I chose to make that decision without requiring their approval. So whether they were on board with it or not didn't matter to me, because it was something I wanted to do. And that's basically how I've really made all of my choices. San Diego, they didn't approve. I didn't care. I still came here. But still, even after all this time, for some reason, it would be nice to have their approval. But at this point, I think I'm reaching a limit where I just really don't feel too pleased interacting with them anymore, because they always say the same stuff. Like, they criticize my lifestyle. They say that me having no friends is unhealthy. They say that if I get a remote job, that is unhealthy because then I'm not socializing with anyone. They still encourage me to make friends at work, even though I've told them why I don't have interest in nearly everyone at work. So yeah, just stuff that I have been struggling with for a while. I'm not exactly the type of person that will just be passive and listen to all of that without kind of retaliating. It's a weird word to use, but I do kind of, disagree and openly let them know about that, but it's just never good enough because they still do it. And it surprises me that they can be so stubborn and narrow-minded, but I guess that's something that I feel like I've been not a very family-oriented person for a very long time. I know that they helped to pay and raise me, but that was kind of the decision they made. So even though their actions are in their eyes for my own good, I'm an adult now and they should respect my choices and my personality and just what I want. And there are many times where I feel like they don't. I am not really concerned. Actually, when I was a teenager and I was struggling with all of that gaming stuff with them, I actually was really looking forward to cutting them off when I was an adult. But after college, our relationship got better, and I didn't feel like I needed to really do that. Now, I wouldn't say that they've reached the point where I feel like I would have to do that, but I definitely feel very discouraged from wanting to talk to them or even wanting to update them on my life, because I never end up liking where the conversation goes, and I actually have a lot of anxiety about them coming to visit. They've already booked a flight for next year, early in the year, and before I left to come to San Diego, they violated my request in terms of how they should act around Riley several times. And even though I got angry at them every one of those times, they still would say stuff like, "Oh, you're not letting her have any fun," when I would have her on place. And the whole purpose of having her on place when people come over, like my parents, is to show her that when guests come over, that doesn't invite her to be excited and active or any of those behaviors. Ideally, I want her to be calm and not really care so much that someone new is here. That is the goal. But if I have my parents going up to her and touching her on place and distracting her, making noises, and doing all of the stuff I ask them not to do, then it is completely defeating the purpose. And also, it doesn't allow her to focus on her task, which is to stay calm. So I would tell them, don't really bother her on place. Keep your voice calm. Don't use an excitable voice, but they just don't care. I really don't think they care, because I've told them many times what the purpose of all of it is, and they just respond with saying that I am not letting her have any fun. There would be times where where they would come over and I would crate her because I knew that they would be disrespectful, and then my mom would go into my room and stick her hand in her crate, and I would just get so angry. So there is just so many factors I feel like that I don't want to tolerate anymore for my parents. And even though they are my parents, I don't want to be disrespected like that, and it just makes me very angry that they expect me to just accept it or something. I'm not really sure why I got into this, but I think my whole stressful week with this loan application is in part because of my parents, and it just always makes me sad that they have to add stress to certain things when I just want their support and I just want them to help me out or something. Not necessarily with money, but emotional support. It's not that I need it, but I do like to keep in touch with them, and the fact that they tend to just kind of criticize me when I'm on the phone with them, or we talk about the same stuff all the time and it's always the same response from me. So it just tires me out. But I have one more day of work, and then it's the weekend for me, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope that I find ways to still be entertained and all of that. So I'm just going to apply to a few more jobs. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm a little frustrated with, not being able to find another job just yet. I have been applying for maybe nearly 2 months now, and I've been on 3 in-person interviews, so I feel like maybe I'm being a little too honest about things, which is making employers not really see myself as a good candidate. But I'm trying not to get discouraged, and I'm trying to apply a bunch tonight, I'm going to keep at it, and then since the housing situation will probably move a bit slower now, I would imagine, I can focus on the job aspect first. So I hope everyone is having a great week so far, and I will see you guys later.